I did buy her a beautiful ring, and I think she might have just wore it on this finger at some moment just because she's fun.
Where are you?
I'm in my girlfriend's bedroom in Los Angeles.
Oh, it's a family show.
This is the magic of Camila Cabello, is butterflies everywhere.
Oh,
and
I love it.
books than you could ever try to even read.
That is so cute.
Yeah, mainly what we write.
Shawn's new tattoo.
It was my first time kind of spending time with my girlfriend and her family in their house in Miami. And I was there for like 3 months. So I got really like, I was doing laundry, and I was barely doing laundry. I was trying to do laundry. I was learning how to cook, and it was nice, man. It was really nice. We watched all the Harry Potters probably 3 times, Stranger Things 3 times. It was like a very necessary moment in my life, I think. So it was really lovely for that reason. Camila is fearless, where she'll walk into like a sushi restaurant and be like, "Do you guys have bananas?" and like the first couple of times she did that, I like was like shaking in like stress and fear. And by the 5th time, I was like, "Yeah, I'd like a banana too, actually." And then, that's what happens when you date a Latina. And then, I think that combined with real kind of taking a second to reflect and look around and be like, God, I'm so lucky I have this insanely amazing support system of friends and family, and I'm gonna be okay. Back 3 days ago. So I didn't see her for a month and a half, which was pretty tough, but we were good. I mean, the last week we were definitely on FaceTime like, we got this, just 7 more days. But she's back now, so it's really nice. I went to my girlfriend's house. I was living with her and her parents and learning how to cook food and do laundry and all that fun stuff. And it actually ended up being this really amazing, reflective time for me, because it was the first time that I was still for like 5 or 6 years.
Where do you hide the diary so her mom and dad don't pick it up and read it?
I don't know if I consciously was doing this or unconsciously, but I was purposely just leaving it out in the open, because I was like, this is, I like... I really do trust Camila and her family, and I love them, and they've now become my second mom and dad. And I really was just like, I think it's going to be fine. And if they go into that diary, they're just going to be like, they're going to be reading like, oh, Camila said something that made me angry today.
What'd you learn about each other?
You know, I think that we really learned how to be there for each other, because there was definitely, I mean, we were dating for some months, and it was like we were together, but she was doing her thing and I was doing my thing and doing our best to help each other. But there was definitely a moment in that pandemic where we became doing our thing, and this turned into an our thing and not a you thing and a me thing.
What is the best thing that you cook? Like, what are you best at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm naturally a good cook. I think I'm naturally better at other things, but Camila has this great thing where she just like puts tons of salt in it and then it tastes great, or like tons of some other things in it, and she's like pouring different spices and stuff into the food, and I think she's going to ruin it, and then all of a sudden it tastes amazing. So as long as I'm cooking with her, it tastes good. If it's me, I can make a really mean scrambled egg and avocado toast if you'd like that.
I had never really been in this serious of a relationship, and definitely have never been in love before until now. And for years, I thought that I was a very vulnerable, kind of sensitive guy, and I used to pride myself in that until I had a girlfriend who I realized would end up being like, why don't you tell me anything? You know, and then I'd be like, what do you mean I tell you everything? And ended up learning just how hard shell I was, and how much I wanted to protect myself to be a man, and how much I wanted to, you know, be strong all the time, which actually ended up becoming a weakness. And if I wasn't careful, I would have just ended our relationship. I mean, Camila was a part of the whole process. So she was around as I was writing it conceptually. It's funny because there was like a real time when, you know, she was doing her thing, and then I was doing my thing, and we were together, but like also working separately. And the quarantine brought us together, and now we've kind of become one, where we're doing our thing. And it's really interesting how that dynamic changes, especially when your girlfriend's a writer and a musician, and she's incredible. you have two options. You can be really scared and intimidated, or you can be like, oh, I should probably ask you for some help, or like what you think. So
Cross your fingers and hope that it all goes well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And she I don't know if she's credited all over the album, but she should be, because there was nobody during the time that was giving me more advice and encouragement to just like stick to the way I felt about. I've been really lucky because obviously I'm insanely privileged, and I was in a beautiful, comfortable house, and it was.
Did Shawn Mendes take the bins out to the curb for pickup day?
I can't say that he did like it was his role, but he probably did a few times and would have every time if he needed to.
Sure.
I hope my girlfriend's dad isn't listening. But we've been living together for 6 months now, so I'm sure if everything keeps going good, we'll have something. I mean, we've wrote a ton of songs together. There's a lot of unreleased duets that we have, but we'll see. It's been a really difficult last few months, but it was amazing because I was so lucky to be able to be with people that I love, and like the most comforting house, and around, people that were really there for me. And I came off tour. I wanted to write an album. Lockdown happened. I moved to Miami with my girlfriend inside of her house with her parents for like 3-4 months. And when we were learning how to cook and to like do laundry, which sounds really stupid, but when you've been touring the world since you were 15, it's something that you've never done before. And it was this moment of like, wow, this is actually really nice. Interesting, because when your girlfriend is an insanely talented, real musician who writes her own music, it's scary to write an album around her. And she was with me when I was kind of in the studio doing it. I realized the trick is like, show her the really rough demo version from your phone that you recorded, and if she doesn't like that, she'll tell you then. Don't wait to show her the mixed finished product, because if she doesn't like it then you're kind of, I don't know what to say to you. I'm sorry. Back when I first started, a lot of the concepts, and they felt a little bit intimidating. She was like, go, keep going. And she would do this thing like once a month. Hey, just a reminder, like, this concept you're on is incredible. It's going to make people feel something really special. Don't stop. And it was this force of energy that I think was really helpful to keep me on like a real cohesive, because I think what happens is when you go to write an album, you start writing something and then you start worrying about what people think, and you start thinking about expectations, you start thinking about reactions, and then you start changing your album. But if you want a world and you want an essence and you want people to feel a certain way, you have to decide and make it and finish it and let it breathe in the world and hope for the best. Like a daydream, walking with his head down. I'm the one he's walking to. So call it what you want, yeah, call it what you want.